So the U.S. has officially entered the conflict with Iran. As of yesterday, they bombed a few nuclear sites, and they're sending these bunker buster bombs to, I guess, theoretically destroy underground infrastructure where the Iranians may have nuclear facilities and so forth. Now, what does this mean for the world and for everyone? And this is solely my opinion from an enthusiast of history and geopolitics. I am no expert, so take this with a grain of salt. But what I do foresee, if this continues, is Iran potentially closing the Straits of Hormuz. If you don't know what the Straits of Hormuz is, this is by the Persian Gulf. It's a narrow strait where 20% of the world's oil flows through. And if this is closed, this will probably cause a global recession, simply because, again, 20% of the world's oil, you're looking at $70 per barrel of oil. If that doubles, which could easily double if you choke out 20% of the world's oil, you're looking at $140 per barrel. That's double the price per barrel of oil. So you would look at a terrible recession. Something similar to this was done in the 70s by Iran, right during the time with the Iranian Revolution and the Ayatollah Khomeini came into power. So you could look at a possible global recession. As far as possibilities for an all-out land war, I highly doubt that's going to happen. I mean, I wouldn't put it off the table, but simply because Iran, their military is mostly, how would we say, more like a national guard, if you will. That's why they have these militias all over the region, like the Houthis and Hezbollah, and they've been funding them. So moving massive land armies across borders, I only see them getting decimated and toppled faster if that's their strategy. But I do see perhaps maybe cyber attacks on U.S. infrastructure and things of that sort. So that's another possibility in terms of how they can retaliate. But the number one would be a blockade or closing of the Straits of Hormuz. That would be, again, catastrophic for the world and the world economy. So that's what I have so far. And again, as far as the U.S., I don't understand what the grand strategy is, what the end game or objective is to all this. Because now, unless you topple the regime, again, eventually they will reinitiate their nuclear program and put it on hyperdrive now. So if you wanted Iran to stay as a non-nuclear proliferation nation, you just gave them every incentive not to. And even though they're an unpopular regime with their people, again, because this regime is not very popular. They're very authoritarian. But nevertheless, you're going to disrupt, again, the economy in Iran, the day-to-day for the people in Iran. And if this escalates and start bombing, I guess, civilian sectors and infrastructures and buildings and killing more civilians, then if your strategy was to have a coup d'etat, if you will, initiated by, I guess, the Iranian people, you're going to do quite the opposite and just unite them and unite the Arab world against Western aggression, if you will. So, again, I don't know what the strategy is. If anyone out there has a better assessment than I do, please share.